What I wanted to do is give you all a quick overview of what's been happening with Trimble Connect. The last time you saw would be the 2014 Dimensions when Trimble Connect was just launched, and since then we've introduced a whole bunch of features as well as we had a lot of changes as well. One of the main things that is different from 2014 is the fact that in addition to sort of the buildings data, when we talk about buildings data, is primarily the 3D models as well as the 2D drawings, right? In addition to that, we also now have support for geospatial as well as civil data. So what this does is essentially it covers the entire project life cycle, right from survey to GIS professionals all the way to essentially the buildings as well as the operation phase, covering the entire project life cycle. So quickly to summarize what is Trimble Connect, essentially Trimble Connect is an ecosystem provider that helps essentially bridge people, tools, process and information together. And the way we do it is essentially there's a product wherein there's offering on the web, desktop, mobile, and now as a beta on HoloLens. In addition to that, platform services that helps integrate all the different Trimble products and non-Trimble products together. So here we see essentially SketchUp, Tekla Structures, FieldLink, Vico, Office, Prolog, ProLines, Manhattan, Trimble Business Center, which covers basically all the different domains all the way from architecture, structure, MEP, GCCM owners and the civil domains, and all this is essentially integrated and they talk to each other with the help of the Trimble Connect platform services. Now to summarize the changes from 2014 to now, essentially we now have over 40 integrations. That was just 8 integrations when we started out in 2014. Now we have over 40 tools integrated, and we have support for 16 languages, which makes it truly global, and all the markets can now adopt it. In addition to that, support for 3D models and 2D models, we now have geospatial data. So you can essentially upload geospatial formats like shape files, KML files, KMZ, VCE, VCL, and also you can create map workspaces. So that way essentially you can set up all the information that you need, the forms, the templates, so that you can use applications like Teraflex, which is used for the field data collection, and that you can essentially put it up onto the cloud with Trimble Connect, and all the other applications and stakeholders can take leverage of that data. Beyond this, we also have automation in terms of workflow for processing. So for example, if you have data from the unmanned aerial vehicles, you can take that and essentially use our processing engine and the APIs and the modules associated with that to be able to transform all that data and again store that back. So this again goes in with the same theme of having that fabric behind the scenes to be able to connect all the information, tools and processes together. Now from an application perspective, once all this data is in, you can leverage that in each of these applications that are connected. But if for example the owners or some other stakeholders don't have access to these specialized tools, they can visualize that with the base applications that we have, which is on the web, desktop, mobile, and now on the HoloLens as well. So again, this is emphasizing the fact that we now support geospatial and civil data in addition to the BIM data. And where we want to head to is essentially bring all these different data formats together, and the workflows that are around that in terms of annotation as well as creating tasks out of it, that workflow remains the same, so that you can communicate, coordinate, collaborate across various data types, and the workflow is just the same, so that there's consistency and ease in terms of adoption. So here we see Trimble Connect for Web, where you can essentially manage the project and manage things like file permissions, folder permissions and so on, as well as do collaboration and clash checking. Trimble Connect on desktop, you can do the same things. In addition to that, you can also work offline as well as load very large models as well. And mobile is essentially the same thing, offline, and then you can use it out on the field to be able to access that information and connect back to the office. So various workflows that is now enabled with Trimble Connect is the design collaboration workflow. In addition to that, with the integrations that we have with Project Site, you can have deeper workflows with respect to RFIs and things like that. And the office to field collaboration workflows, what we talked about with respect to the various applications like mobile and so on. So we do have a lot of content that we put on in terms of videos and how-tos, as well as documentation on the APIs as well. So if you have your own application and you want to integrate with Trimble Connect, particularly a lot of companies would have invested in certain tools. The idea is not to replace every tool that you already have, but integrate your existing tools with Trimble Connect so that you can continue with the end-to-end workflow. So here's where you can get more information, and if you need any help, you can write to this email address where you'll get more information about the APIs as well as the SDK for desktops, and you can integrate those tools again. We also now have a commercial availability of Trimble Connect compared to 2014. So these are the different pricing options. The personal plan, which is a free sign up, you can create one project. It has 10 GB of free storage and you can invite up to 5 users. Beyond that, if you want to scale, you can get into the business plan. You can use a credit card and purchase online if you're a new account. With that, essentially you get unlimited storage, unlimited projects for essentially $10 per user per month. And beyond that, if you have a lot of users and you want to have a discussion as to how you can have enterprise pricing, you can contact us, and essentially we'll be able to help you with that.